You're listening to FAMcast, the For All Manakind podcast, with your hosts, the competitive spirit, Trey Simpson, our own devil's advocate, Tim Weber, and the hopelessly optimistic Trevor Jorgensen. This is FAMcast.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to FAMcast. This is episode 93, and it's time for some of our favorite podcasts of the year. E3 2021 is surprisingly happening, but it's just around the corner as well. Somehow E3 survived, and we're here for it. We're here for last year we relied heavily on Jeff Keighley and his Summer Game Fest, right? Which was great. I loved Summer Game Fest. This year we get both, and
yes,
that's not a bad thing. Like the more places we have for game announcements, I will definitely not complain.
I thought that quote, "Why won't you die, old man?
Yeah,
just stay down and just stay down."
I do think that Jeff Keighley kind of has a doing something throughout the summer, like doing it from June through August, is a much better approach than trying to cram everything into like 4 days. Mm-hmm. Like it's just so much. It kind of spreads the wealth. You have more things to look forward to instead of it all being all at once. But I'll still take it either way. You know, there's going to be a ton from both. Both have a lot of developers at each of them. So we just get to enjoy it. So I'm here. So we're going to divide these up. I think we've done it a few different ways in the past. Sometimes we've done it just kind of like all in one. I think the first year we did it, which would have been like 2017, I think we just had to split it up into two parts, but we kind of did everything. We're going to be a little more strategic. We're going to talk about three different developers in each episode. So we're going to have an Xbox, a PlayStation, and a Nintendo, with some other developers kind of sprinkled in there. So first up, we've got Xbox. And with Xbox comes a lot now. This is
most powerful console. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry.
I mean, this is the first E3 with, I mean, the first summer, the first kind of round of announcements that we'll have with Bethesda under the Xbox umbrella, which is that's a huge shakeup. Like, I mean, think back to when we went to E3. Bethesda had their own showcase. Like they had their own showcase, their own parties. Now think about how huge they could make this showcase. Like I think they're going to, I'm trying to temper expectations because I think Xbox overall is going to come out swinging. In my opinion, and I'll just kind of kick us off, then I'll pass it over to you guys. I don't think they had an extremely strong launch for the Xbox Series X. I know the consoles are selling, like, you know, they're still hard to get a hold of, but they didn't have, and they still don't have, in my opinion, like that launch title, like the one thing that really helps show what the console can do. Whereas, and I think we've probably, you know, talked about this nonstop, especially around when these first came out. But I still don't think they've had that one thing. That is not to take away from Game Pass, because Game Pass is still like the best thing in the industry right now. Like as a consumer, you can't beat Game Pass. But
if you're a gamer, it's a must.
Yeah. They need Halo. But I also don't want them to rush it either, you know? Like They've delayed it this much, so I'm hoping that they can just come through with a holiday release. I hope it's polished. I hope they've spent all the time that they need, that they've needed to really make this game as great as it should be, and worthy of the Xbox Series X. I mean, it's the 20th anniversary of Halo. I think you got to do it this year, right?
Would make sense.
You got to celebrate your milestone with a brand new game. But that's I know that's the easy one, but that's kind of my take on what one of the things that we'll see. One of you guys take it over, because I feel like I've just been rambling.
I think I'll go next. I guess I'm not the biggest fan of Xbox, but
Sure.
we'll let Tim do his whole spiel. But for me, it's like you were saying, yeah, Xbox doesn't have that console selling game as of yet. I mean, it's a fantastic console. I mean, they've been doing the updates for it. The games look great on it still. But yeah, I think they got to come out swinging with something, because I'm still wanting to get an Xbox, but nothing's selling me on it yet. Halo, for as long as it's been in development, I'm hoping, and I know with COVID, granted, and all that
Definitely.
other nonsense, I'm sure that halted a lot of things, but what they showed at last year's E3, I was like, sweet, we finally got gameplay, guns look cool. I'm excited for the grappling hook.
Yeah.
But man, when they showed off the brute close up like that, I was like, ooh. And not even what was his name? I don't even know, Gary or whatever.
Yeah,
people
something
call
like
him.
that.
That low poly looking one, I was like, oh. But when they showed off like the big bad, I was like, ooh, Xbox, are we really doing that? Like, I know it was like an early build, but I'm like, ugh. So I'm hoping, and we've seen screenshots come out in like magazines, and they've been doing, I think it's like been weekly or like monthly updates on their website for Halo. I've been liking that a lot. The game is looking so much better. But that's like the only thing I'm looking forward to right now on Xbox is Halo. I know we're Starfield, and probably the next Fallout is going to be console exclusive, but we haven't really seen anything on it. So,
well, yeah, let's touch on that, because that's been a hot topic this past week or so.
mm-hmm.
So Jeff Grubb, a pretty, not even pretty, a very reliable source, has said that, like, it is pretty much confirmed confirmed but not confirmed, that Starfield is going to be Xbox exclusive, which not a big surprise, right? I think some people will be disappointed, but that's the nature of exclusives, right? Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, let me ask a question about that. So, because maybe I'm getting my sources mixed up here.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the same person who put out on a tweet originally a long time? It was one of the first things that came up, because we were talking about it in Discord. I was like, we barely seen anything on this game. What makes you think it's going to come out this year, right? Remember that discussion? Yeah. Because that tweet said it's coming out this year. That tweet said it's an Xbox exclusive. Is that the same tweet? Is that the same person who did that?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I'll try and go back, and I don't think it is, but I'll try and go back and look.
Okay, and that's fine. I just wanted to make sure, because I didn't know, because you're talking about the tweet that we just got today, right? The one that we've been discussing today. Correct?
We got one like it was probably almost a week ago. That said, yeah, it was on the 14th. Jeff Grubb said Starfield is exclusive to Xbox and PC. Period. This is me confirming that.
Okay. So continue.
Yeah. No, that's really all it was. Like I think Starfield especially is one of the games that people were like, okay, this is one of their it's a new IP. It's one of the first big things, since this merger. Like, what's going to happen? Are we going to see it on both? Or is it going to be exclusive? Do you pour billions of dollars into a merger just for it to not be exclusive? Probably not. So I'm excited. I don't expect it. I don't expect to see it this year. Or let me back up. I don't expect to see it released this year. I do expect to see it at E3 though. Yes. We will see some sort of, it's already been officially announced. Like, we saw that teaser back when we went to E3 in that was 18, 19?
I think 2018, yeah.
Okay.
Maybe not. Yeah, a long time ago.
It was a while ago. So I think this year we'll see gameplay this year. I don't think it'll just be like another, like a cinematic, a teaser kind of thing. I think we'll see some actual gameplay this time around. And then probably tease like a 2020 release window. Or sorry, yes, we're going back in time to release games now. A 2022 release window.
Yep, I'd agree.
So now over to you, Tim.
Well, so to kick it off with that thing, I think absolutely we see a 2022 release. I don't see us with the little that we have seen of that game and how big that game is, and we all know how big Bethesda is, like the fact that we haven't seen more of it tells me I don't think we'll see it this year.
Yeah.
I'd love to. Don't get me wrong. I'm all about it.
Right.
But other than Starfield, I think we might get a smidge bit more on Elder Scrolls 6, like a smidge, like just a smidge, maybe just something. I don't think we see anything Fallout related unless it's 76 related. The Fallout 5 is definitely not going to be in the works right now.
No.
I wouldn't expect Elder Scrolls to come. So anybody hoping for that, I don't think that's something. I think that would not be an expectation. What I would like to see, because right now Xbox, the Series X is a console that plays your current games better than they did before. That's how I would define the system that we have out right now, right? Nothing wrong with that. I mean, a lot of games are fun, and they do definitely.
They keep optimizing them, and they're doing the frame rate boost, the FPS boost, or whatever. Like they're doing a great job. Absolutely.
Right. I think we get a bunch of service announcements. I think we see, they always do really well with like, hey, this is some new features coming to Xbox, blah, 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 how to, I think that's going to be a big push. I also think game-wise, if they want to push some titles and they want to get people hyped, here would be me personally. Of course, you got Halo. And I'm going to say this one, not only because I would love it, but I think it'd be a good next-gen push. Gears 6. And here's the reason why. One, Gears of War isn't just a multiplayer game. People got to remember that. Gears of War has a story. And the story is very good. The Gears of War story is very good all the way through. So I think people like myself, like, look, I want to get back into Gears multiplayer. I do, but 4 and 5 just haven't done it for me. Judgment didn't do it for me. So my expectation of me getting back into the multiplayer isn't super high, but I would love to. I'm always wanting to. But at this point, I want it for the story. And that's coming from a person whose Gears of War 1 and 2 was like my favorite multiplayer games of all time.
Yeah.
Like, hands down.
I would say, sorry, I was just going to jump in and just to piggyback off that. If we did see Gears, I think we would only see like a splash screen of the logo and like a 2023,
a
like
teaser.
This. Yes. It wouldn't be, there's no gameplay. There's no, we see the cog and that's it, like that's.
We're going to God of War it.
Because it left off in a huge cliffhanger. It's not like it left off in a place where it was like, okay, no, it was a big cliffhanger.
Yeah.
So I think, and that wouldn't surprise me because we won't get it this year. Why would you release that and Halo in the same year?
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to do that to yourself.
I mean, what do I know? They could be working on it. I've mentioned this before. I would much rather not know games coming out and then you tell me like in June, like, hey, it's coming out this fall.
Yeah.
I know that's very unlikely these days, but like the things like Starfield, like why did we hear about that 2 or 3 years ago? Like Metroid Prime 4, Bayonetta 3. Why did we hear about
Metroid Prime our first E3?
Yes, that was 2017. That was 4 years ago. 4 years, and we haven't heard a damn thing since.
Nothing.
Radio silence. Sorry, that's not this podcast.
No,
Continue.
you're good. We'll absolutely get a new Forza. I think they would be on the horizon at this point now.
I think they're sticking with the Horizon model.
So we'll definitely see that. That's like I'm trying to think of all the big IPs that Microsoft has by themselves, like just like out of Microsoft Studio.
Fable.
Trevor? Fable. Oh yeah, and Fable, because that's been announced forever ago. I'm sure we'll see something more on that, probably, most likely.
I think we'll definitely see Fable there. Like Fable will definitely have a presence. I would think so. I think we would see some gameplay from that too.
I bet.
Banjo-Kazooie. Banjo-Kazooie, please.
Right,
Banjo 3.
Yes.
That would. I bet Microsoft and Bethesda, they are going to talk a lot about like what Bethesda's bring, like about the merger. I bet that gets brought up a lot. And then I bet they talk about bringing back old Bethesda titles, like being like we'll get Oblivion redone. We might get Morrowind redone. Like we'll just get I wouldn't be surprised because that's what Microsoft does, right? Like they They want to bring the games to you. So
Right.
like
They care
that
about
doesn't
the
surprise
backlog.
me. That comes with that partnership.
They're definitely good at making sure that their games are backwards compatible, and you know you never lose that ability to play a game that you owned, right? And I think that's great. I know that it's a different approach, and it's good that Microsoft and Sony have different approaches. I just wish, or I hope to see them invest more in the future, like really push the limits of this console. Like I think if you focus too much on making sure that all your consoles can play it, like if you make sure that your original Xbox One can still play a game for the Xbox Series X, like you're not really getting an Xbox Series X game. You're getting an Xbox One game you can play on the Series X.
Right.
Whereas with PlayStation, they've already moved on. Like they are making games exclusively for PS5 now. Like Ratchet and Clank is only on PS5. You can't play it on PS4.
Demon's Souls 5 or Demon's Souls was only PS5.
Yeah, like that's what I want to see more of. I would be, and again, I know it's not their thing, and maybe they have some sort of wizard technology that makes it so they can make it happen, right? I don't know.
Bill Gates ingenuity.
I think Fable would be a great one to say like, hey, this is a Series X and Series S title. You know, like that's what it is, because we want to push this console to its limits.
Okay, yes, but is the Series S isn't just as strong as the One X, correct? It's not as strong as the Series X. So you know what I mean? So using that same kind of logic,
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Like, because they can't, because they shut off
the
what
I'm saying,
S.
though.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I feel like it can be done though. Like, think about PC games. You can run PC games, brand new PC games on older rigs. It might not look as good, might not play as good, but you can do it. I think it's the same concept.
That's what I was gonna say. I think it's kind of that model of, the whole PC model of, okay, so I've got a 3090,
right?
All this tech. I'm going to be able to run this game as beautiful, all the bells and whistles, like as nice as I can. But then, Trey, he only has, I don't know, would be like a 1660, right?
Yeah.
Or something like that. Like just like a little bit less, but still a pretty good graphics card.
Yeah.
Like I have like a 3060 or something like that. Still not as good, better than the last gen, but it's still next gen compared to the other one. So I think on Trevor's side, I could see that happening, where they're like, okay, Halo is going to have like its own edition where just like, this is Halo Infinite definitive. Like, this is where you want to play it. Yes, it's going to be on the other consoles, but if you want all the bells and whistles, if you want the extended story or something, like,
I think
put it on that. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's the part that I probably can't speak to very well, because I don't know what all goes into developing a game.
Because I have a
all.
3090.
You know, like
I'm just kidding.
I don't know what goes into this, so I don't know what the struggles are in, like, how much are you holding yourself back when you make it more consumer friendly so everyone can play it. And I know, and I completely understand that that's Xbox's focus. So who knows if they will ever stray away from that. But I digress. We're here to talk about predictions, what we think we're going to see at E3. Tim, you mentioned services, which I think is, it's not always about the games. It is about the services. I think we'll see some sort of Game Pass addition, some additional value to Game Pass, because they have not stopped investing in Game Pass. We know very clearly at this point that is the future of the Xbox ecosystem.
What a future it is.
Yeah, it's really just a matter of what is it going to be. Right. That's how I see it. What are they going to include in Game Pass that is going to just drive that additional value? You know, I've heard people say like, oh, they'll do like Spotify Premium, or when the talks of like the Discord merger were going around, or partnership, whatever you want to call it, buyout, who knows. When those talks were going around, you know, having Nitro included into your Xbox Game Pass. So who knows? I think it'll be great to have a some sort of service announcement. I'm with you there.
Yeah, I'll actually put in on that service part of it. I think they would end up like at least announcing like we're gonna have a TV app.
That'd be good for xCloud.
Or even like, Yeah, for xCloud, xCloud specifically. Just be like, hey, we're gonna have xCloud app. You can play it on your 4K TVs, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Yes, actually, yes, I agree with Trey.
So
Very
just
much
like, I mean, this is all hopes and dreams, but even if they're like, hey, we're gonna have on the Switch, you'll be able to, if you have Cuphead, bring it on. Banjo-Kazooie, play it. It's all yours. That would be great, but I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah. That was on I was looking back at some old E3 bingo boards of ours, and one of them for 2019 was an Xbox and Nintendo partnership. I remember the rumors were flying around that, we were gonna get that kind of stuff. Yeah.
It's like the Switch has the capability of doing streamed versions of games because they did it with Resident Evil, right?
Yeah, it wasn't great, but they did it.
They did it. Yeah. So it's a possibility. Who knows?
Yeah.
Look, I'm always hopeful for that. Every year I will be hopeful that we get a Nintendo Microsoft merger system, something.
I do hope we see Banjo make a comeback. I would like a Banjo 3D. The last thing we got was Nuts and Bolts, I think, on the 360.
Yes.
I don't think anybody was a very big fan.
Maybe that's the thing. Maybe that's the connecting force that'll bring Nintendo and Xbox together. Banjo-Kazooie, like a puzzle piece,
right? Oh, look at
like
that,
a Jiggy.
Only if we get a reaction like we did from you when you found out he was in Smash Brothers. Though.
Oh, that was good.
I love that moment. I still makes me so happy.
It's great.
So, do you think? I know with Rare, everybody wants to see Banjo-Kazooie. Do you think there's a chance we would see any other Rare titles, like old Rare titles, like
Conquer Bad
Perfect Dark?
Let's go.
Perfect Dark's coming.
What'd you say?
Perfect Dark is coming.
Yeah, that's true. We do have Perfect Dark coming.
Yep.
I forgot about that. We probably will see more on that, won't we?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
We'll see more in Perfect Dark.
Yeah. Oh, the one that I completely forgot about.
Conquer?
The one that Obsidian is working on that we saw last year. Avowed.
Oh,
Avowed. The fantasy game that we didn't see a whole lot, but what we did see looked pretty damn good.
And it's Obsidian, so
yeah.
Thumbs up.
Yeah. That'll be one that I hope we see more on that too. Just thinking on I know there's been a lot of focus on Grounded. The DLC for Outer Worlds is out. So I think that's kind of the thing that they would show off as far as Obsidian goes. Now, if I'm getting really hopeful, I would want some sort of Coder remake, because I know that's been floating around.
Well,
but
dreams. You can have dreams. There's nothing
yep, that's true. We can dream. Hellblade 2. I think that was one of the
Mm-hmm.
That was the first thing we saw at the Game Awards, I believe. When the Series X was shown off.
This is the Series X. Yeah.
I think so. I can't think of anything else that it's always tough, because it's either things that I really want to see that are not likely, or things that are almost guaranteed. It's hard to find anything in the middle. Thinking of other Bethesda titles, do you think we'd see anything from we could see something from Arcane, Arcane Studios?
Yeah, we could.
And
that'd be pretty cool.
Not necessarily Dishonored, but it could be something else that they're.
I mean, I'd be okay with a Dishonored 3.
Oh, I would love Dishonored. Absolutely, Dishonored was such a good game.
Didn't some of the team actually work on Deathloop? I think that's the case for Deathloop, anyways.
Is
some
it?
Of that team from Arcane?
Interesting.
I think some of that team
that could be. You might be right.
Because Bethesda absorbed Arcane.
Yes. Yeah. But Arcane is under Bethesda, which is under Xbox. Yep.
Yeah. So I think, I'm pretty sure some of that team is the team that worked on
nice,
Deathloop, which I'm excited for.
I
bet I wouldn't say they're going to announce Deathloop will be coming to Xbox in 2022 or something like that. I don't see I don't think it's going to happen, because I don't understand why they would announce that. But
They probably wouldn't announce
It'd be
it
cool.
before. They probably can't say something like that before it comes
Right.
out, but I could definitely see it
That's
like
true.
after a year of it being exclusive, it coming back to Xbox.
It would even be nice for them to even talk about that.
Yeah,
I know it's during their time, but
yeah.
it'd be cool to be like, and here's more Deathloop gameplay or something. But whatever.
And it's always hard to guess like the other things that could be there. Like think of something like Back for Blood. Like we could see something like that
yes.
on at an Xbox showcase, but stuff like that, there's no way to tell like where it would show up.
Who knows who's gonna do that?
I feel like it could show up anywhere. Anything else for Xbox? I'm trying to rack my brain, but
That's all I can think of, man.
I think that's it.
Yeah, because
I'm very much looking forward to it just because it is their first time doing a showcase with Bethesda. So like I said, I think they will come out swinging. I just don't know what to expect really. I think we've kind of covered all the things that are pretty likely, and then some other Hail
I think-
Marys.
Wouldn't this be like the first full year after all of these acquisitions?
when did they acquired Bethesda? When did they acquire Bethesda? It was earlier this year, wasn't it?
No, not this year. It was in 2020. I thought it was like late
20.
summer 2020.
Wow,
No,
was it really
no.
like?
No,
It could have been it's probably been a year
I think it was
now
early.
because it took a couple months for it to go through, like for all the papers and
I'm
everything to
crazy.
get signed. Because then
I
they
think it
did
was
that.
confirmed.
They
early
did
this
that little
year.
showcase. It might have been finalized this year, Tim.
That might be what I'm thinking.
That might
of.
be it. I think it
Yeah.
might have been finalized this year, but then like the announcement was made 2020.
Yeah.
Regardless, I'll go ahead and close the book on Xbox. Let's get into Capcom because I feel like there's a lot we can jump into with Capcom. I mean, I'll start it off with I think we will see. I know we've got our little showcase next week of Monster Hunter Rise. I still wouldn't be surprised though. Like even though we're going to find out, about I think that would be Monster Hunter Rise 3.0. I wouldn't be surprised if they go ahead and the way that they've been just cranking out content for this game, we could still easily see something at E3, something larger. I saw their sales numbers. They surpassed what they expected it to in Japan, which I feel like in Japan you already have high expectations for numbers for Monster Hunter as is. I'll pass this over to you, Trey, to start. Because I know you've got some wishes for Capcom, and then Tim, I know on kind of an opposite end, you've got some of your own.
Of course, there's no chance in hell that they're going to announce anything for Street Fighter 6. No way.
Why not?
It would be an ice ball's chance in hell, dude. There's no way, man.
Why not?
No flipping way. Why not?
Yeah.
Because 5 isn't even done. If they announce 6 now, they're going to be like, okay, what's the point of even getting 5? Like, what's the point of even playing 6 or 5 anymore if 6 is coming out next year? There's no way.
How long has that game been out, by the way?
Too long. I'm ready for the next game already, dude.
Yeah.
But you said it's not going to happen, Trey.
Street Fighter 5 is ass. Anyways, they're going to show an Oro trailer. That's bound to happen because he's the next character that's coming out. I mean, I would love to see Lost Planet, even if it's like an HD remake.
Wow,
I would
Okay.
absolutely love to see that. That'd be fantastic.
that'd be cool.
I would love it if they gave the reins for Rival Schools or even Darkstalkers, another fighting game franchise. They kind of just left to die. If they gave the reins to another like indie company to do it, by all means, I'd be all for it. Like if the Future Club, like which is they used to be called, it was the people who made Skullgirls.
Okay.
If that team was to pick up Darkstalkers or something like that, by all means,
Sure.
please let someone else do it. But if it's still branded under Capcom, of course, it's their titles. Beyond that, I mean, I'm sure we're going to see more about Pragmata, maybe.
I would love to see more, because that one had so many questions. Right? There's no indication, just a really beautiful cinematic trailer. There's a robot cat. There's a little girl. They're breaking through the ceiling of the Earth somehow. They're on the moon. Like there's so much random shit's happening. Like what is this? What is this game? I'm very excited to see more. I hope we do see more.
Yeah. Maybe even a Battle Network collection for the Switch. Be kind of cool.
Oh, sorry. For whatever reason, I went to battle.net, like Blizzard.
Mega Man Battle Network.
And I was like,
oh yeah,
what?
no, I see you got that. I could see that coming to the Switch or something. Or, I think that's really it from Capcom for me.
Yeah.
I would love for them to do a Marvel vs. Capcom 4, but the way Infinite went, I don't see that happening. I'm pretty sure Marvel is going a different route since they have their own game studios now.
Yeah.
But I think they're also just going with a completely different person in general. But we'll see. I would love for Marvel vs. Capcom 4 to happen, but that's not going to happen. But that's pretty much it. I mean, I think I have a feeling I know what Tim's going to say, but I'll pass the reins over to Tim.
You have no idea what I'm going to want. Okay, so Resident Evil. We got Village. I think Village was well received overall for the majority, right? So I'm hoping we get some DLC.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping. I hope we get some kind of like deal, like, hey, just to show first month of Resident Evil being out, this is it, and we got something more. We want to show you a little bit more of what's to come for this game. It's not over once you beat it. Here's this. So I'm hoping we get something some kind of DLC announcement, even just that they're working on it. That's all I need. Hey, we're working on the DLC for it because it is fantastic. And then I hope we get some clarification, maybe something of this Resident Evil 4 remake, not the VR version, but the actual rumors of the RE4
the remake
that's supposedly coming out. Right, the remake. That would be cool. But I'm also down for any more information on the Resident Evil 4 VR that we know is coming out, because I'm super stoked for that. So that's like the first lineup. The other thing I'd like, and this is my Hail Mary. I think the Resident Evil stuff, it wouldn't surprise me as much. I want it, wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Maybe we won't get it, but I'd like to see it. This is my Hail Mary, though. My Hail Mary is Devil May Cry 6. That is my Capcom Hail Mary.
Yep.
Okay.
I knew you were going to say it.
I highly doubt we hear anything of it, but Devil May Cry 5 was so well done and everything was great. I would love for them to keep going with the series and keep going with Devil May Cry. Like, I don't want to wait 10 years for another Devil May Cry like I had to between 4 and 5. Okay, don't make me have to wait that long.
But you also don't want to hear about 6 and then have to wait 6 years until you actually get to play it.
Correct.
Yeah.
But knowing at least that it was in development would make me feel better of knowing it's existing. But yes, I absolutely agree with that.
For us Kingdom Hearts fans, I think we might disagree with you there. Having just 10 years of seeing in development was painful.
Just don't do that, Capcom. Just don't be that. Yeah. But I mean, as far as like Capcom games, the big ones those are my big ones that I would really like to see a bit more on. I mean, I really hope we get the Resident Evil stuff. I know we might hear more about Reverse. Maybe we might hear more about Reverse.
Yeah, I could see them actually like launching that, or like giving it like a date. Like, hey, it's ready
still
to
the
go.
25th anniversary.
Yeah. So definitely.
It's small. It's not, but that's my wish list for E3 for Capcom.
What if? Because I know you want the Resident Evil DLC, the RE4 remake. What if they gave you like Revelations 3 or something like that?
I wouldn't be mad. Revelations 2 wasn't bad. It wasn't as good as 1, but it wasn't bad. It had good story to it. Yeah. Right. We found out about the other Wesker in that one, so that was kind of neat. But Alexandria. But I wouldn't be mad about Revelations 3, depending on where it was going, depending on what it surrounded. What would be interesting about that is if they do give us a Revelations 3. Think about it. We've had 7 and 8. I mean, it's gonna have to tie into these things somehow. So this would be the first title like that's not about Ethan Winters.
Sure.
So,
yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad just because it'd be the first glimpse of the Resident Evil world since they brought 7 to our lives. So
yeah, like what's everyone else up to?
That's exactly right. Yep.
Yeah. The other thing, and I don't have anything else for Capcom myself, but I was just going to mention, I'm surprised you didn't say anything about Dragon's Dogma.
Oh my god, I completely forgot. Like, they never announced a Dragon's Dogma 2, did they? That's like not a thing, right?
I mean, there was
Dark
Deep
Arisen
Down.
was a thing. Dragon's Dogma is still one of my favorite RPGs. And it came, you got and people bought Dragon's Dogma to get the Resident Evil 6 demo. Like, that's why that game sold so much. It was because of that.
I miss when
that was
companies
like
did that.
my purpose of buying Dragon's Dogma was to play the Resident Evil 6 demo,
Yeah.
and Dragon's Dogma was phenomenal. So yeah, no, that's a good point, Trevor. I would love to see a Dragon's Dogma announcement.
So I think that's what Deep Down was going to turn into, was another Dragon's Dogma. If you guys remember that.
I do remember.
But I think the Deep Down engine ended up turning into the Reach for the Moon engine, or RE engine. But yeah, it's a
Interesting.
good list, man. That's
Yeah.
a good list. Lost Plan was just thrown out there because I think 1 and 2 are just super fun, and I think it'd be really cool to get remakes of those. But that's just
Yeah.
Of which one?
Lost Planet.
Lost Play. I think that's a great callback. Personally, I think it's a fantastic callback.
Yeah. I think I think it's nice to revive some franchises that we haven't seen in a while, you know.
Yes, please revive. Capcom has a humongous catalog.
Yeah.
All these IPs.
Not to
and
take
they
away
just
from
need
new
them.
IPs, like, you know, this Pragmata thing looks really good, and it's always a balance, right? You want to keep your good IPs alive, and you want to keep bringing in some fresh ones too.
Yeah.
Before we roll into Ubisoft, any other? I know you guys are big Capcom fans. Anything else that you want to mention?
No,
That's
just
okay.
Hopefully Oro's fun. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. Because you can play him right now, Fam exclusive.
Don't say that. It's not real. It's not
We
real. Don't get your hopes up, people.
we do not endorse this podcast.
We do not.
So next up we've got Ubisoft, and I don't know what to expect other than to not see Splinter Cell.
Why would you say that? Why would you say that? Why would you say that?
That's my prediction of Splinter Cell.
Yeah, I would agree.
I'm so
I
upset.
don't think they're going to show Splinter Cell.
It's like the one thing going into this that I wanted to hear about, and you just decided to blow it up.
So I do know that we'll hear about Division because they posted that roadmap a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
To where like they're kind of expanding it out into all sorts of things.
Yeah, it's actually pretty impressive.
Netflix, mobile.
That's
You got into that for a while.
I loved The Division 2.
Yeah.
I loved it. It was great. And then they did this whole rework, and it ruined everything for me because I spent a lot. It like Destiny 2'd it for me. Like, it's the best way I can describe it.
Oof.
Sure.
Like, you put all this hard work into getting all this stuff, and you grind and grind and grind and grind, and then literally they bring out this whole thing saying they're going to make everything better, do all this stuff. They pop it out, and it completely ruined my experience with it. Like, the main gun I was using with it, which if anyone here plays, was called the Merciless. Loved it, and it was never the best gun in the game. It wasn't broken by any means.
Sure.
But it was completely basically unusable after like all the old legendaries were essentially unusable. It was just an upsetting time.
That's frustrating.
But look, you know what? Maybe it's great again. I'll probably revisit it because I did for the Resident Evil stuff. So maybe.
What do you want to see from Ubisoft, Tim?
Splinter Cell, Trevor. I want to see Splinter Cell, okay?
I thought you were going to say Skulls and Bones.
I was about to say that, but you know what? Splinter Cell still is number one. I'd love to see where the hell Skulls and Bones has gone, though. I was super excited. I remember sitting at the Ubisoft thing at E3 in my little beanbag chair watching on a giant TV. It's like good game. And it's just gone.
Yep.
Like, that's the best way I can describe it.
That was also the first year we went to E3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I pretty sure, right?
First or second, because we couldn't get into this the next couple times. And
it's either been 3 or 4 years.
No more.
I can see it now, right?
Huh?
We're hanging out at Game Arena.
Oh yeah.
You know, if it's going to be on the days that we're there, but
it is
hanging out at Game Arena, and it's like just all black screen. I hear is, we need backup. and then lights, and then oh no, it'll be like a war zone or something. Like we're inside of a building, right?
Okay.
Things are going crazy, sirens, water, things are blowing up everywhere. Fucking
What's happening?
Like the sprinkle system, like the sprinkle system, right? Because there's an explosion somewhere,
Okay.
so all your fire alarm system's going off, right?
Yeah.
We need backup. We need backup.
I'm here.
Shut this thing down. Lights turn off. The camera pans to a bad guy, right? Like, I need backup here. Something's going on with the lights. Oh, now you hear is everything just fades to black. Like silencer, just pew, pew, pew. And then the green lights disappear behind him. 2022.
This is happening at Game Arena.
Yes, at Game Arena.
Explosions are at no.
Yeah.
No, just like some random place. I don't know.
Dude, that would
That's
I would
Vidania.
be
We need
hyped. I'd
backup.
just start running around in circles, like screaming in excitement.
Yeah.
It'd
We're
be amazing.
actually the ones we're casted in that reveal. We're the ones that get shot by Sam Fisher. We're actually
I'm down.
we're filming it. We're streaming the reveal live at Game Arena.
Yes.
Uh,
This just
Yes.
in. We are bought out by Ubisoft.
yes. Fam has been acquired.
Man,
Yeah, I'm hoping that happens for you, Tim.
Way to
I
paint a
really
scene,
am.
Trey. Way to
Yeah.
paint a scene.
Right. You know, just like Metal Gear it, make it really weird, real obscure, but then at the very
Sam
end,
Fisher
you're just like,
shoots.
Stop.
no,
He couldn't.
that's never gonna happen,
He
Tim.
couldn't do that.
What if
Snake
they
is
like
superior.
teamed up? What if there's a buddy cop, a
No,
buddy
No, then
game?
how would you feel about that? Then Konami would be in your Ubisoft. We don't want that.
Yeah.
And then,
We don't
and then
want
think
them
about
involved
it.
in
They're,
everything.
they don't want to work together because they think they're the best at what they do, and then all of a sudden, you know, to fight the final bad guy, they have
Kept
to
you
come
waiting,
together to
huh?
defeat the
Yeah, we
big
just
bad.
we just watched his Captain Falcon and Winter Soldier,
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
or Captain Falcon.
The fish and the snake. Fish and the snake. There it is. You got the title. Let's go.
Falcon.
Yeah, Captain Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Oh my gosh! I just.
Show me your moves. I don't have time for this, Captain.
Oh my gosh.
Bucky, show me your moves.
Yes, the crossover we've all wanted. Gosh.
Stupid. Oh.
Beyond Good and Evil 2. Hopefully,
One day.
that's that and
Oh,
Skull.
no,
you don't. Okay.
That and Skulls and Bones. We like saw, but then just didn't see for a couple of years.
So I've been keeping up with Beyond Good and Evil.
Yeah,
They do have their streams every once in a while.
yeah,
You know, they still have their Space Monkey program that they've been doing. That's
Yeah.
what those streams are. So at least there's like a heartbeat for it, you know?
yeah.
Whereas
you at
Skull
least
and
know
Bones
that-
is just like there was that E3 that one time and then that was it.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping I see something for Beyond Good and Evil 2 because I
Yeah.
recently, well, not even recently, about a year or two ago, I recently went through Beyond Good and Evil 1, and God, that got me in the feels again.
Yeah.
But man, I'll do the Tim, and I'll jump up screaming and run around Game Arena.
Right,
if that,
that's right,
if
you
that
will.
happens.
I
can't wait.
Beyond that, I think we all know the one thing that we expect to see from Ubisoft every year is Just Dance.
Assassin's Creed.
Oh,
What?
I was gonna say Just Dance.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I feel like that's the one game that comes every year. I thought I read that Ubisoft was trying to do like large like less, they're trying to do Assassin's Creed less often. Like I don't think they're trying to do it yearly anymore. I could be
Yeah.
wrong, but I thought they were trying to get away from that.
Oh, we'll probably see like the DLC or something like that for Odyssey.
For
It's like Druid something.
Odyssey was the one before.
Well,
This one.
Valhalla.
Valhalla,
Sorry.
thank you. And I never did play through that. It's just a large game. Like it's just sometimes it's just a little overwhelming to get into. I get like that with games though. Sometimes I just feel overwhelmed with games like that.
Why he doesn't play Fallout?
Exactly. I'm not a fan of Fallout, not a fan of Skyrim. Like that's maybe Starfield will be the game that breaks me out of my
Trevor,
My
what
show
if
with
like I come over one day and like I load up Fallout 3 on your system and I just sit there and watch you, and I'm there with you while you play it. and I can help you. We can have fun. We discuss decision making, like, oh man, this is a big decision. Like, okay, you know what?
Maybe.
Don't look at me with such disgust. Like you could at least, humor the idea at the very least.
No, like I think almost all games are more fun with friends. I love playing games with KB. KB likes watching games sometimes more than she enjoys playing. So, like with Returnal, Returnal isn't a game that she would play, but she likes watching. So
PlayStation 5 probably couldn't do it anyway.
Yikes!
Unfortunate.
She just had to send something into Capcom. They had her record what was happening.
Okay, good. I hope.
So hopefully she'll.
I hope
hear.
that
I hope that gets fixed.
Yeah. But yeah, other than that, I don't think we see anything Assassin's Creed. For a new Assassin's Creed, but like Trey said, I think we would probably see like some DLC.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything else for Ubisoft though.
Rayman?
Oh yeah, you did.
Or something with the rabbits,
Yeah.
I could see them.
I forgot
Nintendo and.
Oh yeah, I always forget that they did that crossover. I could see them doing more of the rabbids and what did they call those? It was the XCOM style game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I forget what they called those. Rabbids cross Mario game. Yeah, you good there, Tim?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I really can't think of anything else from Ubisoft. They're
there we go.
I can't think of the right wording for this, so I'm not gonna say anything at all.
There you go.
But yes, it's Beyond Good and Evil 2. Gimme. That's it.
What about you, Tim? Anything else?
No, Splinter Cell.
It's not happening.
That's just give me Splinter Cell.
With that is the first of our E3 predictions podcasts. Thank you guys so much. We're very excited, not only because it's E3, but we're actually hosting a watch party at one of our local venues of choice, a new one. They've got a game arena, the OSU campus location. We're going to be hosting a FAM E3 watch party. So if you're local, be sure to stop by. We'd love to have you there. We're keeping things safe. We're keeping things fun. It's going to be a great time. And if you can't make it, you can always watch us live because we'll be streaming live, which will be really fun.
Right.
We're going to bring on some co-hosts, do some live reactions, pre-shows, post-shows, all that cool stuff. So thank you again. Make sure you subscribe if you want to hear the rest of our E3 predictions. Stay safe. We'll see you guys on the next episode.
Later.
Thanks for listening to FAMcast. Be sure to subscribe for the latest episodes and follow us on Twitch, Twitter, and our other socials at For All Manakind.